I think China just solved global warming. It's crazy. This is probably the most important news we've heard for the century, even. So, for the folks who don't know about this, so in China, they actually just completed a nuclear reaction of this new power plant they built. It's still a small pilot, but they're going to expand it, and it's a successful pilot. What they're doing is actually creating a new type of nuclear power plant. What's changed is that it's using something called thorium as a fuel. For the folks who don't understand nuclear reaction, essentially today, all the nuclear factories or generators, we use something called uranium to burn, to essentially create energy, right, to heat. And today, think of it this way, we're essentially, the fuel we have, they're rods, they're solid state. So think of it as like we're burning wood to generate heat and creating electricity, right? With thorium, which is the new technology, it's a new type of element essentially, and it's very easily accessible. It's actually in liquid form. So what it means is that these new nuclear power plants now, they don't need water anymore, which by the way is the biggest use of water for any kind of usage, more than raising beef, more than agriculture all combined. And it's extremely safe because once it's in a liquid form, if it overheats, you can just dump that and then reduce the heat so it doesn't explode like all the nuclear factories, that basically exploded, right? That caused huge damages to us. And also, what this tech does is actually think of this way: before we're burning wood, right, and it's not really clean at all, and we don't get most out of the fuel. With this liquid form, we get almost all of the energy out of it. So these energy plants are extremely powerful. And some rough calculation is that these power plants, if we build them enough of these, we have enough power and clean power, right? So no waste essentially for 20,000 years. We don't need any other type of fuel essentially to create electricity and energy for us. Now, this is also another example of how China copies US but make it better. Now, hear me out. This technology actually existed in the 1960s. So US been developing this for some time, but basically in the 60s they stopped funding the project, and we actually stopped producing scientists and research about this. So it's now the open source. So China has kind of taken that and then started doing its own nuclear reaction pilots and been going on for decades. And now they finally succeeded. And taking this technology, they're actually going to build more of these at a smaller scale too. So you can put them on a ship, you can put them on besides, residential area. So it's really, really good. And what it does actually essentially have unlimited energy and extremely free. Basically the cost of electricity is zero. It's incredible. This will essentially prevent us or stop using fossil fuel completely. This is just another example of breakthrough where we share technology and then we build for the better future. So anyways, this is something I think everyone should talk about, but we're too caught up in other fake news out there. So stay tuned if you want to learn more.